It's my dick in a box. My dick in a box, babe. It's my dick in a box.
Hey guys, this is just a little, basically a bunch of videos I'm thinking about making called Let's Talk Dirty, and what it pretty much will be about is tactics in Flames of War. Now, there's lots and lots of different units for every army in Flames of War, and each have their purpose and have their place within the game and in whatever style of army you're playing. So basically what I'm going to be doing is just teaching you, or not so much teaching, but just explaining some of the tactics that I use for my army. I've got permission from my local club to be taking home different armies. So I'll be going through all the armies in Eastern Front. I will be looking at some armies in North Africa. These will be mid-war armies that I'll be talking about. I will be dabbling a little bit in Blitzkrieg, which is early war. Something to do with the French and the Poles and stuff like that, but that'll be quite a distance down the track. Now, for people that play late war, these tactics they cross over. So don't think just because you've heard I'll be doing mid-war that that these tactics can't be used and cross over into late war. By any means, they certainly can be. If anything, in mid-war we have less troops on the field because our troops are more expensive. We can't take quite as many in mid-war as you can in late war. Late war's one of those theatres of the war where units were quite cheap. You had a lot of big things. The Germans, to be honest with you, from my experience, I think the Germans are a little bit more harder to play in late war, simply because you have less Germans. They are a little bit more expensive, simply because it's reflecting on how exhausted they actually were in that time, that period of the war. You certainly get a lot of Americans, Russians and Brits for your points in late war. But as I said, I'll be talking about mid-war, and all these tactics can cross over. Now, the first thing, if you're playing Flames of War, is you need your templates. These are a must if you're playing Flames of War, simply because if I show you here, they have, this is a what have we got here? This is a distance. This is a command distance from here to here is 4 inches. If you read, it's assault and command distance for conscript tanks and trained infantry. So, for instance, Russian T-34s in a conscript army would use this for a command distance, and trained infantry, which is in any army whatsoever, any trained infantry would use this measurement here as their command distance. This simply means that all troops must stay within this to be within command, to move and to undertake other certain orders and stuff like that. There is exceptions to this, which it'll be down the track on how, where this doesn't apply, but it's a little bit complicated and we'll go into it later. This here is for conscript armies, which is your 2-inch, which really sucks, especially if people are using artillery, because your men are so close together. There's so much that goes under an artillery template when you use this command distance. But you can see it's very effective. You can space your men out quite nicely with this. It's an easy tool, and it is a must. And not only that, it's when it focuses, it has all its modifiers here for your fully tracked, half-tracked jeeps, wheeled, and infantry going through rough terrain, cross country, and so on and so forth. So it is quite a very valuable tool. This bit down here is usually used primarily for your Germans and some of your higher rated infantry troops and tanks and such. This is for veterans, this bit down here. So you can see there is quite a there's a substantial gain to being a veteran in many areas. People think, oh yeah, it's your skills and your what's your morale and to be hit and all that sort of stuff, but there's heaps of things that take effect, like your distance apart. So if you try to get for instance, if you try to artillery something like this, everything's spaced out so far, you're only ever going to get one base at a time under the artillery template, which is very frustrating when you're trying to take out a few bits and pieces in one go. But that's for something else. So basically, yeah, that's pretty much what these videos are going to be about. I'm going to pick cheesy pieces to do these videos on, but also I'm going to pick pieces that aren't cheesy and show you by simple distancing, spacing, how to drop them into concealed areas where you can get full effect for something that's so simple, for instance like a HMG, and make it a cheesy unit. These, by any means, these are quite nasty. These get 6 shots each, so you can imagine 2 bases sitting here. I usually play guards, so we space them out. So two bases sitting side by side. You can picture infantry running or coming from this direction. These fire 24 inches, which is quite a way, with modifiers obviously that take effect, but they get 6 shots each, so that's 12 shots out of 2 bases. They can, well placed, elevated ground, concealment in the edge of a forest. These are an army stopper. They will slow infantry down and make people think. But I'm not so much going into that now. This is just a video I'm putting out there just to see if you people want to see some of this. I'm more than happy to go in and start talking about some of this stuff. Check out Gun Barrel. He's got some great, I really can't wait to see his virtual Flames of War. And also, buddy, if you watch this, I will be, just give us some time. I'll take some pictures, send us some sort of a message or private message or mail on how you would like some pictures taken of certain bits of infantry, and I'll do that, and you can use these in your virtual Flames of War if you need other armies. Alright guys, cheers for that.